Hello friends, welcome to Exam Tricks. This is Mangala Pandey and today we are going to deal with Article 15 of Right to Equality. In the last video we tried to understand Article 14, Right to Equality before law and equal protection by the law. In this video we will try to understand Article 15, Right against discrimination. This right is available only to citizens, and there are 5 parts of this article and we will deal with each and every part separately. Now the first part of Article 15.1 is a kind of negative rights where the citizens have the right against discrimination if any kind of discrimination is done against them on any basis. It states that state shall not discriminate its citizen only on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any one of them. Now here the most important thing is the use of word only. It means that race, religion, caste, sex, or place of birth cannot be the sole ground for discrimination. But if there is any other valid ground, then discrimination can be made. For example, we see in various states that there is a provision for domicile and in some states special provisions for tribal areas that we cannot go into that areas, though there are some kind of restrictions. Let us understand it in some greater detail. Remember our story that in a last video, Shah Rukh Khan in Swadesh. There he successfully explained their right to equality before law and equal protection by the law. But equal rights cannot be enjoyed by the people if they are discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, sex, place of birth, etc. etc. One thing you will notice that our fundamental rights have not been put together just as a bunch of rights have been just collected and put together in the constitution. No, it has been arranged very meticulously and scientifically that each one of the rights are precursor to other rights and they are interrelated. For example, the first fundamental right secures legal equality, making all of us equal before the law. When a modern nation state is formed, it is based on legal authority. What does legal authority means? It means that we legally elect our government, we have been given certain rights that are inscribed in the constitution. So the first responsibility of the state is to provide legal equality to its citizen. But this legal equality will be a farce if it does not eliminate discrimination on various grounds. Thus we can see that there is a kind of continuity from Article 14 to Article 15 and with other rights too. And if you understand this relationship, you will be able to not only remember the articles but also the provisions, specific details, etc. etc. of every article. Now coming back to second part of Article 15, that is Article 15.2. It states that no citizen shall be denied a. access to public places such as shops, public restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, and b. the use of wells, tanks, bathing ghats, roads, or places of public resort. To understand this, visualize the same village where equality and non-discrimination has been ensured. But what is the next important thing necessary? It is the assurance of non-discrimination within the society, not only by the state but also by the people. But in Shah Rukh's village, what he sees is that there is lot of discrimination against people belonging to so-called lower castes. They are prohibited from going to public places or draw water from public well. Therefore, he calls on to make people aware of their right against discrimination. But one of them questions, if non-discrimination on any ground is our right, then why special provisions for few or reservation for some? Shah Rukh then replies and tries to make him understand that only eliminating discrimination is not enough. We need some positive action too. because some sections of our society are vulnerable, like women and children who need support, while some are educationally and socially backward and has faced lots of discrimination earlier, like untouchability and many other kinds of discrimination we still see in our villages. So there is a need for positive action from the state, and this is called a kind of positive discrimination. Therefore, in part 3rd of the article 15, that is article 15.3, the state has the power to make special provisions for welfare of women and children, since they are the most vulnerable section of our society. For example, 33% of seats in panchayats are reserved for women. Again, in article 15.4, which was introduced in the constitution after the first amendment act 1951, it empowers the state to provide by law special provisions for advancement of socially and educationally backward classes of citizens, including scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and backward classes. Under this provision, states can make special laws for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and nobody can call that it is the prohibition or encroachment of their right to equality, or encroachment of their right under article 29. Again, in article 15.5, which was introduced after the 93rd Constitutional Amendment Act 2005, this 93rd Constitutional Amendment Act added, we all know, our very important right to education in our constitution under fundamental rights 21A. This confers the power on state to make laws for advancement of any socially and educationally backward classes for admissions into educational institutions, private educational institutions, referred to under article 31, and it has been mentioned that nothing in this article and sub clause G of clause 1 of article 19 shall prevent the state from doing so. Thus we can see that article 15 is a mixture of both negative and positive rights. Negative rights in the sense that state shall not discriminate against any citizen on any grounds such as race, religion, caste, birth, etc. But at the same time, it confers positive rights to citizens also, because it has provided the state the power to make special provisions for vulnerable sections, for women and children, for educationally and socially backward section of our society, and through these powers, state can initiate affirmative action. So we are done with article 15. I hope it helps you to understand the article. If you like, subscribe my channel or comment for such other articles. I will be explaining rest of the articles of right to equality in the next videos. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.